Let's all spread love, not hatred. Have faith, have patience. We all have problems of our own, but it's up to us not to take it out on everybody else. Whatever I could do, I help. Appreciate what you do have, cause I done been through it myself. Now I remember how it felt. I used to think life wasn't fair, but it is.
But it is.
We gotta be a voice for the kids.
Yeah.
Look, baby, you are black and beautiful, so never be ashamed of your skin. Yours don't crack when we older. Love your culture. The media's all vultures, trying to steal what we got. They can't pull it off cause they not us. Yeah. Just celebrate life. But if you gon' do it, make sure you do it right. Like, no more violence, shots on me if you graduated college. More power to you if your living's really honest, cause Lord knows that's the hardest. See, it's easier to fail than it isn't, and criticize cause you're different. But you can do it, I believe in you. I'm just hoping y'all listen.
I'm just trying to make it like a buzzer beater. Even if I have to run in labels with a dozen Ninas. Man, these A&Rs greet us, hey, nice to meet you. Then turn around and be faker than Cousin Skeeter. The big homie shooting blacks like Aldridge. So I enter getting points on the low like Kawhi Leonard living broke with a broken home. Hella family there, still feeling home alone. I was stressed out, but I'm blessed, y'all. And I ain't never embarrassed to swipe the Quest card. And I ain't never too good to work for that check, y'all. We keep killing each other, so no respect, y'all. More power as a team, we a threat, y'all. Trying to get it on my own, that's the best look. Or had a trap house jumping like Westbrook. Feeling good, feeling great in the hood with an 8+1 cause it's late.
Love for sale means you can love someone else.
That's real.
Man, I'm with you whether right or wrong. We'll dab it up and just move on. Help each other to be strong. Cause I love you. It don't matter to me whether or not I know you. You wanna have the lie or do you want the whole truth? Yeah.
Half a liar, you want the whole truth.
Are you my bro or no? Are you my sis or no? Fam, we gon' be fine cause I love mine. No matter what, I love mine. All the time, I love mine.
I love mine like nobody could. You got some flaws and I do, and they might evolve through our youth. So I figured why not interfere where somebody should. Let's get to making some minds up for most seeds wind up in the soil off of flowers in somebody's hood. Shots fired on a late night. Know you tired of taking L's, let's take flights. Leave all of it in the past, no brake lights. Even though we hurt, I see the beauty in the pain. Without it, I don't know if I value it all the same. I can't front, I shed tears, but I'm grateful. Here, so I'm thankful I ain't still walking around with grudges or hateful. We could spend our whole lives in a sling behind the wrong things and spend time teaching all our daughters they queens. Kings and our sons, they heart as pure as they seems. When he look in the mirror, I hope he see what I mean and he understand.
Love for sale means you can love someone else. Man, I'm with you whether right or wrong. We'll dab it up and just move on. Help each other to be strong. Cause I love you. It don't matter to me whether or not I know you. You wanna have the lie or do you want the whole truth? Yeah. Are you my bro or no? Are you my sis or no? Fam, we gon' be fine cause I love mine. No matter what, I love mine. All the time, I love mine. Oh, if you hate me to death, man, I love you more.
Still love you more.
I love you
Still
more.
love you more.
We love you, Free Think Zone.
Yeah. There it is.
Colorado's finest, A. Measy, Will Geis, Ray Reed, and AP. Ooh. I mean, that was everybody on the track.
Man, y'all, we needed that song
We
today.
needed that today. Right on time. Yeah, your mask can come off now.
Like they say in the black church. We needed that song on today.
On today, that was a good A selection. We probably need a B selection so we can get through the rest of the day. Okay?
How you feeling, Shay J?
Woo! I'm feeling black. Does that count?
We went. Jay, JB, how you feel, bro? Oh, he
Where's your
don't have his
microphone?
microphone.
Did he not use the mic
he
anymore?
just,
I don't know what studio he's in. I don't know what's going on.
That's the dean of journalism.
He's at testing.
Is his mic on?
Is it on? We want you to turn it on and talk to the people.
Let's fix him.
I don't know what's going on with him. It's that Dodgers shirt that's throwing everything off.
I don't know.
I kind of believe it, but
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
I don't know.
we'll go with 4,
1, 2,
5,
3,
6.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm turning every.
I think that one worked.
You might have turned it too many times as well.
That one right there.
Yeah.
1, 2. That's it.
Yep.
I had to put on the Dodgers shirt. We forgot to mention that the Dodgers won the World Series. So I'm thinking, like with this Scorpio moon, this double full moon situation, the second black manager to win a World Series game with the World Series with the Dodgers, and so Dave Robertson. So I'm saying, let me put this on because that might roll over to Joe Biden.
And Joe Biden is speaking right
This
now.
might
He's
roll
live
over.
right
Hold on a
now.
second. Joe
Hey,
Biden is
hey,
speaking
this
right
might-
He's
now.
speaking right now.
Like he's speaking right
He's
now.
speaking to the people.
Hey,
Joe
look.
Biden is speaking to the people
He's
right
speaking
now.
to the people right
Let's
now.
see if he's really.
That's your
okay.
man, Gerald?
Let's see if Joe Biden.
Now he's
Let's-
your
let's
your
see if-
friend.
let's
Keep hope alive.
We're going to keep voting. And I said, well, I feel a little better.
He did ease your pain.
let's see if he's. They say Joe Biden is speaking now.
He's speaking right now
He's not-
to the people.
He's not speaking on his social media.
He's not doing really good with his social media. Whoever's running that should
Where
readjust.
is he at? Where's Joe?
Joe, where are you?
But with
I
that
hear you
being
speaking to
said,
the people.
say Jay, how long did we broadcast yesterday?
I mean, that was a 10-plus hour broadcast. We didn't play with you. Free Think Zone, thank you for sticking it in with us. We even had some requests when we shut down to keep going. So
It was
no one cared about our life in that moment. They're like, keep going. This is what
at that point. It was time to kind of wrap it up.
we had to wrap it up if we wanted to and keep our sanity and wrap it up. And I know Brother Jeff only needed water, but at that point I needed a shot of tequila. So it was that type of real. It was real.
We're trying to see where Joe Biden is speaking. We're on his
Let's
social
find him.
media.
CNN.
I'm not going to CNN. I'm on Joe Biden's page.
He
If
wants
can't
Joe
speak
Biden
on
to do
his
the work
own
on his page.
That's why he's in the problems he's in right now.
Ooh,
mean-
there it is.
Or he might not.
You
be
didn't
in
even
any
read the
problems.
trigger alert, so I don't think you can start going hard without a trigger alert.
He
Because
might not be in any problems.
he might not be.
But
He
hit him
might
with the
not.
trigger alert, Shay J.
This is a show that triggers people. If you're not willing to be exposed to other points of views, tune out now and don't read the comments. You have been warned, my people. Welcome to the Free Think Zone. And it is your election headquarters for the culture, of course. So do me a favor, share this out on your network right now. Let's create engagement. Like, share, subscribe, whatever you need to do to keep this engagement going. And make sure you go on over to brotherjeff.com and leave any amount of donation. Best nation donation, because we're powered by the people.
Hold on.
The presidency itself is not a partisan institution. It's the one office in this nation that represents everyone. And it demands a duty of care for all Americans. And that is precisely what I will do. I will work as hard for those who didn't vote for me as I will for those who did vote for me. Now, every vote must be counted. No one's going to take our democracy away from us. Not now, not ever. America's come too far. America's fought too many battles. America's endured too much to ever let that happen. We, the people, will not be silenced. We, the people, will not be bullied. We, the people, will not surrender. My friends, I'm confident we'll emerge victorious. But this will not be my victory alone or our victory alone. It'll be a victory for the American people, for our democracy, for America. And there will be no blue states and red states when we win, just the United States of America. God bless you all, and may God protect our troops.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Wait a minute.
We stay tuned. You're welcome.
Okay. Well, If that's what you're gonna do, if that's how you're gonna kick off the free think zone,
There will be no red or blue states when he is done. Okay. We hear you. That's a good lip service. I hear you.
look,
That was
hold
good.
on, look at Kamala. Look at Kamala.
Oh, what is she gonna say?
She's rocking that suit.
She rocking that suit. Nice. That's a nice suit. I see you said that's okay.
Well, all right.
Okay.
They were in Wilmington, Delaware.
Yeah.
Joe's hometown.
That's
Joe's
hometown.
hometown. Yeah.
All right, free think zone.
Free
There you
thinkers.
have it. There's. I told you last night you were looking at the next president of the United States.
Absolutely. And you know what, Brother Jeff, what I love most?
I told you guys.
Wait, the crowd is not feeling you right now. What is going on?
Here we go.
What I love,
Shay
though.
J, who was the one that said, "I have an immense cycle of hopefulness"?
This guy.
And when you all said last night that Joe Biden was about to speak, I was the one that said
Keep
he
hope
better
alive.
not come out with no concession
No
speech.
concession speech,
There are
you did.
way too many more votes out there.
Absolutely.
This is going to be a long journey.
Yeah.
He's just going to tell us to go to sleep.
And you called that. You absolutely called that. And I mean, we've been keeping hope alive. But when I heard he was going to speak, I was like, wait, what are we doing? And then if you're watching all these different networks, you have so many different interpretations of what's going on. So I think that's been the thing. You know, this whole country is built on fear anyway. So I think that's been the level of, is he about to have a concession speech? What's happening? What's going on? But we have been saying that we did believe that Joe Biden would win. In the midst of the numbers not looking in his favor at all times. And we're still in a place of we don't quite know what's going to happen. But you still have hope, right?
Yeah.
I have hope with you. I'm going to keep hope alive with you.
I think that these United States of America,
Yes.
even though Donald J. Trump is a striking representation of a large amount of individuals who think and do that way, I believe that Donald J. Trump is not representative of what these United States can be.
Okay, can
And those
be.
folks who, well, I mean, and
Can
and all
is
of
the
the
key
people
word.
who showed up to the polls to make sure that he won't be.
Okay, you know, Brother Jeff, I'm going to give you a clap for that. However, I think that we're having a real realization of the world we live in, and we're really looking into a mirror, hoping to see a different reflection. But it's really the reflection we're seeing is that there's a lot of people that came out in the masses to vote for Trump. And a lot of those people are smiling in your face. They're yelling Black Lives Matters. They're putting up signs. They're marching with you. They're the ones doing the looting. They're doing all these things. So I think we're really getting an eye-opener to the place that we call America, the land of the free, the home of the brave, that it may not be such. So I think this is a real realization that there's a lot of undercovers that are coming out in the masses to make sure they vote.
Okay.
Just saying.
John Bowman,
Look.
what happened yesterday? What about last night?
Look,
About
about
last
last
night.
night. About last night. See, what had happened was, I think I nodded out about 9:30 after everybody kept saying, it's too close to call, it's too close to call. I was like, okay, well, then there's nothing new is what that really means. Listen, I woke up about 12:30 a.m. I thought it was about 10 o'clock. And I said, oh, my God, let me go to the Cultural Center and make sure that this isn't a nightmare that I'm living through right now. And I was going to do a walk and talk up and down Welton here and sit on the front steps and just say, I'm just waiting for Brother Jeff and Shay J to show up and Brother Gerald so we can get this, so we can figure this out. But look, this is the take for the day. Hoping with cautious optimism. Okay?
I like that.
Okay.
Cautious
I like that.
optimism.
Okay.
And look, I got a call from people who are working. I got more than one call. What they're saying is that Republicans, or whatever they call themselves, they stayed home from work today. They called in sick. They are sick because look, you got an incumbent who's got millions and millions of dollars, and he lost pretty much. I mean, look, if Biden gets Arizona, Michigan, Wisconsin, which they just declared for him, and he gets Maine, 2 of the 3 votes in Maine, 2 of the 3 electoral votes in Maine, he can win this thing without Pennsylvania.
Right.
And if he gets Georgia, that's a lock. But see, what I think happened is black people in Atlanta, what you doing? Because I don't think they showed up. If black men had showed up in Georgia, this had been a wrap. Or in North Carolina, or even South Carolina.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, with that being said, here's what we're here. I'm going to Shay J, JB, Gerald. Are you ready for a dose of hope?
I would love to hear a dose of hope. I'm always ready for a dose of hope.
I'm going to give you the path to victory.
Let's do it. I'm ready.
I'm going to give you the path to victory via Biden's, campaign manager or an attorney, Jen O'Malley Dillon, and Bob Bauer. I'm going to give you free thinkers a dose of hope, and then you tell me what you think after.
Come on with it.
No, I gotta give it to you. I gotta give it to you. So let's just
do it. All right, dose of hope.
Is it intravenous?
No, I'm gonna give you a dose of hope.
Take my mouth. It's a pill.
Don't wait in.
Swallow.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us after this long night. This is Jen O'Malley Dillon. I'm here with Bob Bauer, and we wanted to take a few minutes to go over with you what we're seeing across the key states that are left outstanding. Most importantly, I want to share with all of you that Joe Biden is on track to win this election, and he will be the next president of the United States. So we believe we are on a clear path to victory. By this afternoon, we expect that the vice president will have leads in states that put him over 270 electoral votes. Today, the vice president will garner more votes than any presidential candidate in history, and we're still counting. Over 135 million votes have been counted so far, and the vice president has received 69 million votes so far. He has won over 50% of the popular vote. We are on track to win in Michigan by more than Donald Trump did in 2016, to win in Wisconsin by more than Trump did in 2016, to win in Pennsylvania by more than Trump did in 2016. And we flipped one of his states, Arizona, and congressional districts, Nebraska too, last night to add it on top of that. So now I want to walk through the outstanding states that we're seeing and give you an update on how we see our path to victory. Let's start with Wisconsin. We expect and we believe that we have already won Wisconsin. Joe Biden is winning by roughly 21,000 votes, and there are only a few votes outstanding. We're only seeing two counties, Pierce and Richland, and they have just a few numbers of precincts outstanding there, which account for around 5,000 votes. So Trump would need 4 times that to overtake our lead. We believe that this state can be called this morning for the vice president. In Nevada, we expect to win this race. We are already in the lead. The vice president is winning by roughly 8,000 votes, and we do not see any of the outstanding ballots that give us any, that are still outstanding, that give us any reason to believe we won't continue to add to our margin. The ballots that are outstanding are vote by mail, and as was reported early this morning, the votes will not be counted until tomorrow, but we expect that tomorrow when those results come in, we will continue to be in the lead in Nevada. Michigan. So we expect to win Michigan. The ballots that are outstanding are mostly in Democratic heavy areas as well as absentee ballots. And Joe Biden is winning by roughly 12,000 votes. Kalamazoo and Wayne County are both outstanding, which we expect to be about 200,000 votes. So still more votes coming in today. We expect the final results to be today, and we expect that we will win this state. Pennsylvania, I know a state that we all are talking a great deal about. We expect to win Pennsylvania. We see 1.4 million outstanding ballots that will be counted over the coming days, most of them projected to be from Democratic heavy areas and mail-in votes. We expect that these ballots will more than overcome Trump's 600,000 vote margin that he's carrying right now. And we expect that we will know the total counts will be through probably by tomorrow afternoon, evening, from what we understand from the state and the counting order and the number of votes that they can count over the course of today and tomorrow. So as we went through those states, we believe we're going to win all of those. We believe we are winning all of those. And along with Arizona, which obviously has already been called for us, if we just need any 3 or 4 of those states above to get us to 270. So we think that this is already a foregone conclusion. But there are still a couple of states that are still in play that are a little bit closer, but we think it is possible could push us even further beyond 270. The first is Georgia. This race is currently a toss-up. Many of the outstanding ballots are in the Atlanta area, which favors the vice president. And we expect that these ballots are going to be reported today. We think counting is underway this morning, so we should know pretty soon where we net out in Georgia. North Carolina is a state that, as we have thought all along, is really tight. We think it is probably leaning towards Trump right now, but we also think that it's going to go down to the wire and that we may have to wait several days to know the outcome of this race, depending on how quickly the state counts the remaining ballots. So we've already crossed 270 with the 4 states we just talked through, but these are still in play, Georgia and North Carolina. We're watching them closely, especially Georgia. And because of all that I just shared, last night, the President of the United States falsely claimed that he had won this race and then demanded that votes stop being counted. The American people get to pick their president. The president does not get to pick the people whose votes get counted. But let's be extremely clear about something. If Donald Trump got his wish and we stop counting ballots right now, Vice President Joe Biden would be the next president of the United States. The vice president will fight for every vote to be counted. Some of the outstanding votes will be for the vice president. Some of them are going to be for Donald Trump. But the vice president believes they all should be counted. And when all of the votes are tallied, as they have been in every election since our country has been founded, we are confident that Vice President Joe Biden will be the next president of the United States. So I'd now like to hand this presentation over to Bob Bauer to talk about the legal elements that are the focus of today and coming days around the race.
Thank you, Jen. I'd like to walk you.
I'm not sure we want to get into the legal briefing
Yeah.
and wrangling, but did you get a good dose of hope?
Do you see Gerald's dancing gave me hope.
They're doing the Cuban shuffle in here.
He did a whole Cuban shuffle. They said right now, if we stop counting votes, Joe Biden would be the president.
Man, Joe Biden.
Well, guy said, do you want half a lie or you want the whole
Or
truth?
you want the whole truth. This is why you're tuning in right here for the whole truth. Go ahead. I see John Bowman's not feeling this.
Look, you know what?
Do you think that he's going to sprinkle a dose or douse that hope with something other than what we just heard from the insiders who are right there? Like, between the time that John Bowman went to sleep last night at 9 o'clock.
At 9 o'clock.
And woke and thought he was dreaming, did he have an epiphany that would counter anything that fine woman has just said?
He
about
might
our
have.
race
The
to
John Bowman I
270?
know, he could have had an epiphany. And I believe he's ready to speak on that right about now.
JB.
Look, what's our favorite number here?
270.
270.
7 donations. Every time we come on the air, 7 donations to brotherjeff.com, hit our cash apps, hit all that stuff. But the reason it's a favorite number, there are 7 states still in play. Bam. You know how I just weave this stuff
That was
around.
good.
You know, I weave this stuff around. Look, right now, they can count votes in Philadelphia or in Pennsylvania until Friday. Now, Trump, what he has done so far, last night when he came on, I woke up and he came on with that band of grifters, that family he has. That band of grifters let him on stage. I was like, none of them had a mask on.
Nope.
Nobody in the White House. It was supposed to be 500-600 people in there. They had them shut it down to 250. And they were in there. Trump came out. I've never had a press conference this late at night or this early in the morning, and it was packed. But they didn't have on any masks.
No
they
mask.
were so mad that they were there and couldn't declare victory. But what did Trump do? He said, "I'm the winner.
Right.
I am."
And then
the
complain
winner.
about not being able to have his party.
Hey,
like
look.
that's what you're focused on, the party you
We
can't
were
have?
supposed to have. We were supposed to be partying.
But of course, last night we went through all of this, and Smokey Girl, thank you for keeping us
Yes, thank you,
up
Smokey
to date.
Girl.
And she risked her health and her
Blowing up her kitchen.
and catching her kitchen on fire to watch those returns and
I like
share
that.
them with the free thinkers.
That's love.
And she will bear witness that I said there is hope.
Yes, you
And
did.
now I just gave you another dose of hope.
I feel it.
I've shown you the path to 270.
Yeah.
And you just heard from, see, the future President Biden knew to make that announcement during the time we
When he
came
made it,
on
yes.
in the Free Think Zone.
Absolutely. Number one, he knew that we were tuned in, and we were trying to make sure that our Free Think Zone viewers had the most relevant information ASAP.
And he knew that because he didn't come in person into the Free Think Zone,
He had to do something
and
for
we
us.
don't push individuals who don't come and hang out with us.
Mm-hmm.
Did he not come on in the Free Think Zone live
Boom.
2:00
And he knew to come on a site that we could actually stream it from, so we could talk about it.
from Delaware?
From Delaware.
See,
You know,
it's
Brother
all
Jeff,
lining up.
It is all lining up. The crazy thing is I had a conversation this morning because, of course, you know, it doesn't stop. We've been doing an interview still this morning. And in one of the conversations I was telling you, I was talking to my people in Wisconsin. And so there's a group of black men in Wisconsin that are, you know, really involved in community and activism. And so as I was speaking with them, and I spoke on it last night a little bit, they said they all voted for Trump. And so as I started talking to them, I really feel like that's where Joe Biden missed the mark, is getting the black man. When you start to really look at it, when you look at when Obama got in, he got everybody except for the white man. But that's where Joe Biden missed the mark. The black men did not believe, the messaging didn't hit the black men. It didn't hit them in a place where they felt like, okay, this is who I need to vote for. And I think that actually hurt him, why we don't have a glaring victory, because that was a real thing.
Well, I mean, can we speak openly now? Since
We can.
It's the
Since
Free
it's-
Think Zone.
it's the Free
and,
Think Zone.
You know, we know that whatever decisions were made is going to lead to Biden and Kamala heading to the White House.
Yes. Go ahead.
The reason the black man was not fired up is because he picked a running mate who had a history of locking black men up.
Exactly.
And so you're not going to get fired up for Kamala, even though the black woman was fired up in the sororities and the ones that are in, like, it was like a class thing. If you were in a certain class, like if you had the handshake
Right.
and if you know, you knew the dance, or you could stroll, or, you know, you could do all of those different things, which are important.
Yes.
If you are a part of those who are what they call in the middle of America, the
Yeah.
middle class, then yeah, you could get beyond the fact that, you know, a lot of black men from those urban areas, and see, now they're using the term urban in terms of their saviors
that's
now,
black. We don't know.
which
Yeah.
without saying black people.
Exactly.
See, black folks are about to save this election for
Like we save
Biden
everything.
and Kamala, but black men were not fired up to the extent that they would drive to the polls knowing that, you know, they were being driven to prisons all over the country.
Exactly.
Based on the crime bill and based on a
Both.
district attorney in the middle of the midst of a social upheaval based on law enforcement, and DAs are a part of law enforcement. What part of that would translate to black men being
Let me
excited
be fired
about
up.
Kamala?
Exactly. And Brother Jeff, you hit such a key component of this. They weren't fired up. On top of that, when I started interviewing these black brothers who voted for Trump, the conversation that they were having was, you know what, Shay J, we'd rather just see it up in our face and in person. We like to know racism. We like to know how we need to maneuver around. We don't like the fake and the shake. And what we see in the history, neither one is for our sides, but what we know is we know that Trump is going to get out here. He's ignorant enough to say exactly what it is he's going to do, where the other side, we don't feel like there's anything authentic about what they're delivering. And so they're like, let it be in our face so we can figure out how do we move forward from this. Where women, we're like, give us a little bit, you know, of something to mess with, and we'll figure out how we can make it better. They're like, no, just tell me what it is.
Well, you had a lot of individuals who were not fired up about Biden or Kamala, and it wasn't just black folks. And it shows in the numbers, the closeness. The folks that came out for Trump were fired up to be out there for Trump. They were, for whatever reasons, they were fired up to be there. And if you think about the black men I know, a lot of them may not have voted for Trump. They just didn't vote.
Right.
They just were like, I'm not showing up for this.
For either or.
And you can tell they didn't. So you can't blame black men and say black men betrayed the nation and betrayed
Not
the
at all.
race. It's like,
Not at all. I
no,
understand them.
we have been a part of a system that betrayed us.
Over and over again while we're watching our brother.
And I'm not showing
with a
up
needle
for
in his
that.
neck.
That's what them black men were saying.
I get it.
So why did you vote for Biden? Why did I vote for Biden?
I told you I voted because I was on the dump Trump train.
Yeah, and you guys are a different degree of black men too. And when I talk about, I'm not talking about the black men that are sitting here doing this type of work every day. Maybe they're involved in different ways, but I feel like for one, you guys have different. You have a different lens when you look at it.
Look. Here's the thing. So, this is a nation right now that is in search of an identity. Mm-hmm. We don't have an identity anymore. You got to understand this. If you've ever been in a political race, do you know how hard it is to beat an incumbent? I ran against Happy Haynes one time. I ran against Michael Hancock and 8 others in both races. I took them both to a runoff. This is when you run against an incumbent, you have no chance. First of all, if the incumbent is smart enough. Now, what Trump did all the time that he's been in these 3.5, 4 years, everything he did was dumbass along the way. And I'm not castigating him. I'm just saying every move that he made was a dumbass move. Now, the smartest move he made was retaining his macho-ness. That's why the white Cubans and the white Venezuelans in Dade County, of all places, Dade County, Florida, where is black folks gazumbas. Right. Look, there should have been no way that Trump took Florida,
not at all.
But black men didn't vote. I don't think it has anything. It has a lot to do with the crime bills and all that other stuff that both the Democrats were involved with. But the bottom line is, these guys want to be macho men around women. Black men fell into that trap. And so you had a lot of black men and a lot of Latino
black men
men
fell into what trap? They want to be macho?
The trap that we're macho men.
Oh.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Because Trump doesn't give me a macho feel.
Let him finish because he threw up his hands like
no,
it was over us.
I'm telling you. Black men, Latino men like to be macho. They love to be macho men. You know, you date. Yeah. You talk about black men.
I like men. Yeah, I like men that want to be men.
Okay, but in that being men, what ends up happening is you may not be able to see straight a lot of times because you're so caught up. You're so caught up in being buffed. You're so caught up in telling people what to do and how to do it. Look, they didn't vote for the Democrats. I'm thinking a lot of them, when the numbers come out, you'll see a lot of black men all the way up and down that eastern seaboard went for Trump because of his macho-ism, and they want to be like him.
Now, I'm not saying that you're. I'm not saying that you're wrong. However, but comma.
When
you start talking about that Latino or Mexican machismo, whatever. When you talking about that macho man, I am the king of the casa.
Yeah.
Most of our families are matriarchal, so you ain't got a bunch of macho men.
Or I would have been married by now.
Duh. Women talking about I'm in charge and all that. You might try that, but I can guarantee you there were a lot of black men who were impacted by that crime bill, and they were impacted by DAs that went along with white supremacy to lock black men up and put them in cages. You cannot tell me that black people do more drugs than white folks.
Not at
you
all.
cannot tell me that black folks do more crime than white folks. You cannot tell me with the numbers of black folks in America as it relates to the numbers of white folks that these prisons should be filled up 90% with black bodies. And black men have come to realize that they're not going to be carrying white supremacy on their shoulders. Yeah. And so it ain't about being macho. And the folks that you're talking about that voted for Trump, a lot of them identify with being white people. They don't identify with being no macho man. They identify with I have an opportunity to be white. And as such, being white in America means stepping on top of people who have color. And so the closer you have to that skin tone, the closer your relationship to access to what these folks have. And then also, if you have the trinkets of what white folks have in terms of their degrees, in terms of their neighborhoods, in terms of your nearness to them, then all of a sudden you identify with white, even if you dark as the black, the ace of spades. But it ain't about black men said, I'm going to stand with Trump, because it ain't that many black men that stood with Trump. It was a few. It was enough to make sure that these numbers are close, but the masses of black folks are still Democrat, and then the ones that ain't, they done left the party, or they ain't getting involved with it in no way, shape, or form. They rolling the dice on their own, and it has nothing to do with white folks and their systems.
Wait till the numbers come out.
Brother Jeff, that was a word from on high. And I think you hit something that the realization of, like, when we talk about Latinos that voted with Trump, it's because they identify more with being white. Or if you identify in a certain tax bracket in a different space, then that's where you were really siding with. So I think we were able to see that.
All I'm saying is wait till the numbers come out and they show black men that went for Trump. Look, when you had, even though Kanye West was on the ballot, and you had
5,000 votes in Denver for Kanye West,
and you had a bunch of these other rappers and everything that, you know, if you listen to Malcolm, he talks about these are puppets. These are puppets and pawns that the Republicans used, and I don't know if it worked. I doubt that it did, but wait till the numbers come out and we see what black men, how black men in those eastern seaboard states see how they voted. I'm not saying everybody. I'm not saying everybody was in that mindset of I'm macho, but I'm telling you, Trump is a macho man, wants to be. He plays the song every time he comes on stage, you know. And so the bottom line is with his bullshit ass dance that he comes out there with.
Do that dance again, JB.
Look.
But the problem is Trump is not a macho man.
I know that.
Little rich kid.
That's it.
Who
A
has
privileged
been given
kid.
everything that he wants. He ain't been in no back alleys fighting. He is not macho. He's a bully, and he uses whatever his wealth and access to wealth and power, you know, which is basically his white male privilege.
Yep.
That don't make him macho. That makes him just someone who a lot of people identify with in terms of the capitalist.
Yes.
So what did they say that makes Donald Trump successful? Because he was supposed to have money. Yeah. But folks are realizing he really don't have that money. You know, and you have a lot of those so-called black individuals who were face front for Trump, identifying with being capitalists. In other words, I got the Molly, I got the bottle, I got the bottle service, I got the Cuban link, I got the car, I got the this, I got that.
That's macho.
Man, that's materialism.
That's materialistic. That's not
you
machoism.
You can have all of that stuff without being a macho
man. I've seen the little guys with all that stuff that have nothing to really bring to the table. I don't see Trump as macho, but I think you made a point when we did have these rappers that came for it. Your 50 Cent, your Lil Wayne, and whoever such. I think that did because black people are still looking for a leader. So sometimes when you're looking up to these men with materialistic goals that you have, you do start to side in that way because you say, "Oh, this is how I get rich. Hey, look, this is how I stay on this lane."
When you go in the club and you order that Dom Perignon at $150 or $200 a bottle, that's macho.
Is that the word or is that flashy?
That's capitalism.
Is that capping too? Acting like you got it?
The thing that makes you successful in a capitalistic society is your ability to purchase things.
Right.
Like, okay, I can afford, what you're doing is you're saying, I can afford to pay for a bottle that's $150, but what's inside the bottle ain't worth 50 cents.
Right. That's it.
But it's the bottle that makes you say, do you see me? And so you have a lot of individuals who grew up in poverty and they think that having things is what makes them successful. Macho, if you're trying to say macho and thugs are synonymous, which I don't think they are.
No.
You know, black women can't be in the pulpit. Is that machoism? Yeah. Or is that patriarchy?
No, I think that's apples and oranges. That's apples and oranges. Yes, because look, when you drive up in a big ass car, okay, and you hop out and you got your tank top on and you're flexing up and everything else, that car gives you machoism, just like that bottle in the club does. When you got the whole little cabana and they bring the bottle over, how many friends that are not friends run over to that little cubicle and try to get in on that bottle?
Okay, well then let me ask you this question then, because I know a lot of black women that got more money, got more things, and got more bottle service than most of the men. Are they being macho?
What are we called? Because I can go do whatever the man does. I can go do it too.
The woman who is buying that bottle is a A-type personality.
Is she macho?
What are you calling me?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I will not subscribe to being called macho.
Come on, girls. I got this. Come on, girls. I got this.
Nah.
So
I'm not macho. I don't take it.
A woman who goes to the club
I don't take it.
and orders bottle service shows up with the big car, has the has the purse that has the red bottoms,
macho,
them shoes that cost $500, $2,500. And she's got all of that stuff. You're saying she's being macho. She's a man.
No, I didn't say she's being a man. I said she's being a macho girl. But what I'm saying, look at what is
being real feminine.
What is Candy?
Thank you. Walking with their knuckles.
Hey, I got it. Do you no? That's not cute.
So without getting,
I can pay for this. What about you?
What up? Yo, dog.
Shit.
Yo, bartender. Yo. Get me some of that bottle
around
service
for everybody
and
in
get
here.
me some of these trick Negroes
you
over here to take care of me.
Flex my chain.
Hey, what happens when those servers come to that cubicle and see somebody's got that order, a woman's got that order? Don't they take her seriously? What do you is Candy Baca a macho leader?
No.
Hell yeah.
Oh my God. You're really in the free think zone right now. This is officially the free think zone.
Hey, do you not see?
Why can't we have a better language besides a woman that takes care of business and handles business and doesn't need a man to be successful? Can we not be called macho?
I didn't know macho was a male feminine deal. But what she is,
what is there to a macho
a leader,
female?
And macho people sometimes are leaders. She is a leader of those women that are on the council. Who's stronger than her?
You see what he's saying, CJ? Here's what he's saying.
I don't like it here.
Once you become in a position of power and influence,
you're macho.
Then in a patriarchal society, because those are the attributes of so-called men, if you are in a position of power and influence, then you are emulating machoism.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it.
I don't
so we're trying to get to 270 to win. Biden's at 253. Trump at 213. For those of you just now tuning in, I'm taking it back. I don't agree with you, and I'm gonna just go ahead and throw it at that. I feel like at this point we need to find the definition of macho.
I think the free thinkers.
I got it right here.
The free thinkers have it. She's a boss.
No, I got it right here.
Listen, the boss summit.
That's it. Black boss summit. We don't call it the Black Macho Summit because we're feeling ourselves. Like what?
I've got the definition right here. Showing aggressive pride in one's only what? Tough guyism.
Tough guy.
So Candy's being a tough guy.
So now we're guys.
She's a tough woman.
Did it say that in the definition?
He said he had the definition.
Does it say he or she in the definition?
Read that definition again.
As a noun, it's a man who is aggressively proud of his masculinity. All I'm saying is the strongest person in the room is the macho person in the room.
Well, I hope people don't view me as macho. I'm going to go ahead and say that and put that out there. That doesn't turn me on in any way, shape, or form, or fashion. Not a little bit.
Uh-oh. Hold on. Eric says they called Wisconsin and Michigan.
Yep.
They have called
That brings Biden to 264. He can get some of them little states now.
Yeah, he can get some of those little ones. We'll take it.
He can look for them little 8 and 2 states.
They called Michigan and what? Wisconsin?
According to Eric Clark, 264, they called Wisconsin and Michigan.
So Michigan would get 16 electoral votes. Wisconsin would get 10 electoral votes.
And my man Jamont, he's riding with you. He's in the car with you, JB. He
loves that's what you call us?
JB.
Really, Jamont? That's how you feel? That's fine. That's cool.
Aggressive. Listen.
Now I'm aggressive.
Domineering, fierceness, bravado. All those words.
So, which part of Candy is bravado?
that she came into the council and challenged the mayor's budget right off the bat.
So that's bravado.
That's right off the bat. She said, look, I'm looking at this budget, and I see the deficits here, and I see how we could make those up with your 54 appointees who all make more than $125,000 a year. I see where she came in and she said, look, ain't nobody else has ever busted the budget like that on a mayor. Nobody.
So that makes her a man.
Yeah, so now you're I'm not going to go with the word macho.
That makes her attributes transcend her womanness
right.
No,
into machoism.
I'm not gender with it.
Okay, no gender.
So I just want to know, I want to know if there is one person out in the free think zone, because we know we have difference of opinion. Is there one person in the free think zone that said, you know what, Trump is such a macho man? I want to know if one person thought that in the back of their head. Look at that macho man. I was like, he's a mediocre white man per usual. He's actually less than mediocre. And he's out here being privileged and playing the game. He's actually pretty much an idiot. And nothing macho rings in my head when I think of Trump.
When I think of Donald J. Trump, I think of the prototype of the founding fathers of white male patriarchy.
Yeah.
Even when he talks about power, he discounts women. He's always like, that's the man thing. That he's a patriarchal someone who has access, and it doesn't make him anything macho. It makes him someone who benefits by the rules being bent in his favor. If all things were given equal, he couldn't bust a grape in a fruit fight.
That part.
Donald
if
J.
all
Trump.
Things were equal.
And for him to get this far, like, what part of machoism is half your crew has been indicted or sent to jail? You've been indicted. Grab them by the vagina. I'm going to tell you my taxes, but they're being audited.
Right.
My Trump University, go ahead and pay y'all off because I was robbing you. All of this stuff being known, and everything he said about every person of color and people with disability and all of those individuals who would get behind him and cast their vote in his favor, something's wrong with them too.
I agree.
They're identifying with the capitalism, saying, and if I'm like him, I could get those things.
Yeah.
I can get all that America has to offer, and all America has to offer is some things.
That's it.
He thinks all of those things about all of those 9 people who have been indicted and jailed. He thinks those things about himself. His kids think that about him. Look, he is the alpha dog, and that's the way it is in his. Have you ever seen a president call all of his cabinet people into the Oval Office and then go around the table and say, "Pledge your damn loyalty to me right now"? The only time you see that is with King Arthur and the Knights of the frickin' Round Table. You don't see that in common everyday occurrences. You didn't see the mayor do that. You don't see any other president ever do that. This guy I'm not saying he is a macho man. That's what he ascribes to. That's what he wants to be.
That's what he aspires to be. Just because you aspire to be someone doesn't mean you are, and doesn't mean that's even the energy you're putting off. I just don't agree with that's the energy. But obviously he did something right. He called out all the people, and they came out in masses to vote for him.
The people who identify with him, make America great, basically means put them Negroes back in their place.
Put them in their place. They got too comfortable. They got too comfortable.
Put them gay folks, put them black folks, put them brown folks, put them folks that don't agree with rabid capitalism and disagree with destroying the environment. Make law and order strong so you can go hit them people in the head, but look the other way with the folks that are robbing everybody blind.
And you don't think that's macho?
I think that's criminal. I don't think that's anything but criminal. And everybody who identifies with that as a value, something needs to be checked inside of their head.
Why do they follow him why did they want to follow him to the 1950s? Because they think he's the macho king, the man. Look, I'm going to board up the White House. You're not going to get in here. I'm putting up a fence you can't even climb over. He said he was going to build a wall. He built 400 miles on the border, and Mexico didn't pay for it. But he's building a wall around the White House, and we're paying for it.
Shay
That's
J,
macho.
You know who could fix all of this?
Who?
Manushka and a healthy dose of chubby curls. Educating the natural community one scalp at a time. Tell them about the value of chubby curls.
Chubby curls, chubby curls. This is for my natural sisters and brothers out there. If you have those skinny curls, make them chubby. And if you have that dry hair, let's juice it up. Let's get some organic products. And I know that this right here has been approved by the Free Think Zone. Go ahead and grab chubbycurls.com and educate that natural scalp one head at a time. Chubby curls.
One quick one. Was Joe Biden macho?
Is Joe Biden macho?
No, I'm sorry, not Joe Biden. Was Gore?
Al Gore?
Was Al Gore macho?
I don't even remember what he was like.
He had more votes than did Bush. But what did he do?
What did he do?
Aside. He stepped aside. Even though he had the election won, he stepped aside and walked away. Is he macho?
That's like asking, did he invent the internet?
Well, what I'm saying.
What does Gore have to do with?
I'm lost.
I'm not sure the majority. I'm not even sure you can put white men in the macho category.
I agree. When I think of
follow
macho,
every swag of every person, particularly
culture
black
vultures.
folk. And so, if you're attaching machoism to white men who follow everything that black men and other folks do, then I don't even know if you could put them up as in terms of machoism. You might be able to put them up in terms of terrorists, folks that are willing to do any damn thing to get what they want, folks that will terrorize and rip the whole environment apart so that they could be in charge. Those that will kill each other to make sure that you're not in charge. There's a whole bunch of things and attributes I would attach to white men, but
not
macho ain't one of them.
Right. I think of my Hispanics. I think of my Dominicans. I think of my black. I think of everybody but the white man when I think of macho.
Don't you think the Boogaloo boys and the so-called militia boys that are out brandishing weapons and running the Biden bus off the road and all this stuff, don't you think they consider themselves macho men?
Whether they are
terrorists, white racists that are terrorists.
They're afraid.
They're terrorists.
They're afraid, and they think all that armory is going to protect them.
That's what they think.
And so every day they try to get another piece of equipment to protect them from their greatest fear, and their biggest boogeyman is the black man. And particularly when they have guns, they are trembling in their boots.
Which is why this is why we're still screaming out justice. This is why we're still screaming out justice for Elijah McClain, because we have somebody that is 110 pounds wet that we still find a need to.
We call tiki torches manly.
Right, what is manly about a tiki torch? Thank you, exactly. From the audience live. What is macho about a tiki torch? What is macho about killing a child? What is macho about killing babies? What is macho about breaking into a woman's apartment and shooting her and then trying to build a lawsuit on her boyfriend? What is macho about any of these things? Stop playing with me. White men are not macho.
Nothing
Cut
is.
it out.
Nothing
Knock it
is.
off.
But that's the attitudes that they exhibit. That's the attitude they exhibit, and whether it's right, wrong, macho or not macho. Listen, who plays the Macho Man song? The gay community.
The Proud Boys?
What is he talking about?
I don't know where he was
That's
going
the
with that.
song.
I'm going to find him.
Okay, go ahead, JB.
That's the song he comes on stage to. Macho, Macho Man. Would he be playing that if he didn't consider himself a macho man?
I'm wondering. You said you said something about the gay community. That's the part
I don't know how we got to them.
YMCA, all that stuff.
YMCA.
Who sang that song? Who was that song about? The gay community.
And
so that's
tie it in for me.
And so those are macho men in that group. That he's the plumber, he's the this, he's the that. They're all muscled up.
Help me understand.
Have you not
Bring
seen
me
the
to
video?
that.
I can't hear you.
I don't
Have
remember
you
the
not
video.
seen the video?
But what does that have to do with Trump?
So you're saying gay men are who Trump is?
Why would he use that song about macho men if he didn't consider himself a macho man?
But you just said that was the gay community or the macho man.
I said who sang that song? Who brought that song to fruition? Who brought that song into the lexicon of Americana? It was the gay community.
Okay.
So whether they consider themselves macho men or not, they must have, because they sang that song about themselves.
So people can sing whatever and consider whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Thank you. This
there's
is
a lot
America.
of people walking around singing WAP and they might be dry. I mean, people sing things. Like, what does that mean? Like, stop it. This is why I need you to go to brotherjeff.com right now. Any amount of donation keeps us up and running. We're powered by the people. Just 7 donations a day to keep this type of conversation going. My people, it is your election head headquarters for the culture. Of course, we're still trying to figure out who's going to win this election. It has not been called yet. It might be the Macho Man or it might be Joe Biden. I mean, either one, we don't really know. Right now, 248 with Joe Biden, 214 with Trump, and it is 270 to win.
Wow. Next, John Bowman's going to try to convince us that Rocky was the heavyweight champion of the world.
Of the world, Craig.
Because they had to put a white man in the movie to be the heavyweight champion because they couldn't get one in real life.
They couldn't get Ali.
And they had to search for the great white hope to deal with Jack Johnson et al.
I am amused. Wholeheartedly amused.
Does a non-macho man say, I'm going to take every state that's in play, the 7 states in play, I'm going to take every one of them to court. I'm going to get my lawyers on this thing, and we're going to shut the election down right now. We're not counting any more votes. We're not going to count any more votes. We're going to put those vote countings on hold. That's a macho man. That's somebody who thinks I'm in control of everything, the whole world.
So do you think the Robin Bearers, the Robin Barons, were macho men? Do you think Steve Jobs and the head of Amazon and all of those are those macho men?
I don't know how they ran their companies, but a lot of them have complaints against them for being macho type men
or just being white racist men
by messing with women on their staff and blah blah blah.
That's not a macho man because you mess with women on your staff at all.
I don't.
That's an entitled man that thinks he should get everything that walks past him.
Absolutely.
But if you're
that's definitely sexual assault.
That's called an assault.
Right.
That's called an A-type. That's an A-type alpha dog kind of guy. You'll do what I say while you work for my company.
Is that argument that
I can't
because men have rights to women's body because they're alpha and they are macho, and as such, if you're in the environment and you get touched or sexually harassed, it's just the purview of macho men, or what we would call machismo? Or why wouldn't that just be sexual assault?
Yeah. Why wouldn't it be that?
Why
would it just be called
illegal?
Entitlement, illegal harassment, sexual harassment? We don't want you, but you want us, and you feel like you should get it because you want it. There's nothing macho about that.
I didn't say there was.
But that's what
I didn't
you're
say there was. What
man.
I'm saying is, that's what they think. That's their psyche. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's their
Brother
psyche.
Oh no.
Can you help me out? Let me ask you a question. Who's getting Georgia? Is it going to be the macho man?
Well, all I know is
and you said that the black men didn't show up.
Black macho men didn't show up.
You said the black community didn't show up in Atlanta. Talk to me a little bit
I want to hear about that.
Hey, look, they have said that if black men had registered and voted in numbers that were consistent with what black women did in those states, it wouldn't be a wrap.
If Joe Biden wasn't a framer of the crime bill and had a running mate who is the DA,
that might turn me off too.
That might have played a role in black men not showing up.
Absolutely. Even when you're looking at Michigan right now.
Would you rather not show up and vote or let Trump come back for 4 more years? That's the question I'm asking.
It depends on who you are because, first of all, for black folks, Trump ain't their biggest problem.
Right.
See, when we start thinking about white folks' problems and what's important to them, and white folks trying to figure out black folks, what black folks is trying to figure out is why them white folks still voting for Trump. And I hear that white men went away from Trump and white women stayed with Trump. So the question isn't what black men did. Why them white women keep running and voting and being with Trump if they don't want that type of leadership?
Yeah, you said that too, that the white women were saying that Trump was a reminder of their first husband, that they absolutely left. So why did they stay and vote for Trump? I don't understand that.
You remember in the first election what they said about white women voters? They most of the time vote with their men.
Mm-hmm.
This time around, look at a state like Colorado. Look at Highlands Ranch and some of these suburban communities around here. The white women decided, we're not voting with our husbands this time. We're voting against Trump. And I mean, that
Are you talking about in Colorado?
Yeah, that's
we got it. Colorado's anomaly. We did our thing.
We're a whole
you
different
can't
level.
blame none of this discussion on Colorado.
Not at all.
We're talking about the average white woman in all them red states. It's white women who drove them numbers.
Well, Brother Jeff, you said something so key because I was looking at a meme today and it was like, waiting on the election is like waiting on a group project, but you know you did your part. And it's like, Colorado, we did our part. We did what we were supposed to do. We showed up in mass numbers, especially our youth. We're completely activated. But again, there are white women. And then I'm looking at Michigan. Michigan right now, we're holding out still for the results of Michigan. When I was looking at Detroit, 80% of Detroit did not vote. That is the black neighborhood in Michigan. 80% did not vote. Why is that?
And there are a lot of individuals that watch the primaries, and even here in Colorado, to where now Senator John Hickenlooper didn't even have to participate in the race.
Right.
And became the senator by joining the race deep in the playoffs. We know that Biden was on that stage, and it was black women, it was white women, it was gay men, it was Asian on there. It was the diversity that you see that the party says we're the big tent party. And you wait all the way to South Carolina, and Joe Biden becomes another example of the white guy who gets the nod. And there are a lot of people of color that's like, that's rigged. I don't know how it's rigged, but it just don't feel right and it don't smell right. And everybody don't have to participate in their own robbery.
Everyone does not have
Some
to
folks
participate
be
in
like,
their own robbery.
some folks will know, I'm getting robbed, but I'm not going to participate.
I'm not going to help you, Robbie. Like, here, did you want me to go ahead and grab? Actually, I have some more stuff in the back. Did you want that? No one's participating like that. I think it's enough right now for our black community, and they're standing up and they're standing back.
Since you mentioned John Hickenlooper,
Senator John Hickenlooper.
Senator John Hickenlooper, who I said, what? How long ago did I call that one?
You called that in the beginning before we even knew he was going to
run. John Bowman.
Hey, look. Thank you very much.
Yeah, he's in the backyard sipping lemonade, getting the tea.
Thank you very much. But look, and speaking of him, like you said, Cory Gardner is, out of the last 12 senators from the state of Colorado, on that side who were Republican, look, they've been one-termers.
Yeah.
One-termers. And here again, John Hickenlooper came in and busted him. One term as a senator, 6 years. That's all you get. You're done. Pack your bags.
But that has a lot to do with the broken Republican Party.
But look at what he did for Colorado.
Listen, Colorado is on that Republican Party's helmet. And if you're not getting these independents and these unaffiliated individuals to get on your side, the Republicans haven't had an answer for what these Democrats have been putting on them since that blue wave. And last night proved that Cory Gardner's going home.
Bye-bye, Cory.
Bye, Cory.
You lost your job. See you later.
You can't blame none of this on you can't blame any of this on Colorado, and you can't blame this on black men. You need to go right there to them white women who, like for example, the young people turned out, the Black Lives Matter folks turned out, the people who've been out in these streets, they turned out, everybody did their thing, and that white woman who had all them the hats and all that stuff on, she didn't talk to her sister, her auntie, and a lot of these white folks that we know, they are pioneers fighting against the racism that they see when they go home for Thanksgiving. Absolutely. And they see what's going on, and they're trying to push up against it. We know it, but they see it.
Yeah.
So, look, what do activists around here say about the marches that they lead and that they go to? What do black activists say about the crowd that's coming out?
Way more white people than
who
blacks.
are missing? Black men, right?
I don't think black men are missing. I saw a lot of black men.
But they're not leading the pack.
I'm just asking you, what do the activists say? I'm not saying it. What do they say? They say, where are the black men? You watch their tweets come out. You watch their posts come up. Where are the black men, rally goers? I mean, just think about it. If you go to any of these marches, you'll see who's there.
But I could tell you, black folks don't necessarily show up to be around a whole bunch of white people.
Well, you can say that again for the people.
So, I mean, if you're gauging black participation based on something that is predominantly filled with white folks, then you're gonna miss the mark all the time.
Right.
Why are
I can show you some places
more
where black
white folks marching for George Floyd than black folks?
Because
black folks have seen us march for years, and they don't understand what marching is going to do to ignite any type of real change. They're tired of getting out and marching just to march. Maybe that's why.
Maybe because black folks got someone's knee on their neck.
Hello.
I mean,
maybe because they don't want it to be them next.
When black folks show up to protest, they're showing up to save their lives. Some of these other individuals are showing up because it's the latest thing to do.
Period.
On that particular weekend.
Especially during a pandemic, when you're not supposed to be doing anything.
So there's a level of privilege to being a part of protests too.
Absolutely.
That everybody doesn't have purview to. And so
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. I didn't go to a whole lot of them. I didn't go to a whole lot of them because and Jeff is on the verge of this. He's on the lower end of this. But at some point, you're not as agile and as active as you used to be.
Right.
And when the crowd moves and the rush comes from the gendarmes, you're not as quick to turn around and get the hell out of the way.
There. But I think
so. All I'm saying is everything is measured in increments. And I'm telling you, once the votes come out and once they do that polling and say, how come you didn't vote? Let's see what those answers are before we say black folks didn't show up because of DAs, because of attorney
and when I say black folks
showed
men.
up.
Black folks did
Black
show
folks
up.
showed up.
But once again, I keep telling you, voting should be an extension.
Black men showed up too.
They showed up.
I know a lot of black men that showed up.
And first-time voter black men showed up too.
There were candidates. Candidates that were closely aligned and more aligned to my values than Biden and Kamala. But I was on the dump Trump train.
And that's why you showed up.
A lot of folks that I know that went to vote, it wasn't because they're all hoorah for Biden. They were like, let's get rid of
this
Donald J. Trump.
Yeah.
All things being equal, I would have voted for Howie Hawkins and Angela.
Thank you.
There we go.
That message,
all things being
that
equal.
Green Party has some candidates that's on hit.
In alignment.
And so,
Well, let's just wait. All I'm
You
saying
can't
is,
tell me
all I'm
black folks
saying
ain't
is,
showing
let's
up.
just wait until we see the post-election comments on who voted, why they voted, what percentages, blah blah blah. And when we see that, then I think we can talk more intelligently about. This little brother look like John Legend, don't he?
That is little John Legend right there.
He looked like John Legend. Well, so all I'm saying is wait until we see the postscript for this election. Anybody who can take an incumbent president to a damn near too close to call draw, that's a strong man.
Man, if you could beat somebody, a president that's been indicted, a president that's taxes is under investigation, a president that has every kind of scandal, a president where they track his lies every single day, every time he opens his mouth, a president that dog whistles and has the worst elements of the United States of America rallying behind him, and he doesn't say anything. If it says more to the fact that you can't beat him than you can.
Brother Jeff, I was going to say, this should have been a landslide. If there was anybody to take out, this should have been a landslide, and it's not, because our Democratic Party, it's not my Democratic Party, but the Democratic Party is not strong, and this has been proven right now, and I think the Democratic Party needs to sit down and think about how to strategize, or we need a real true party, because they are not strong. There's no way this shouldn't be a landslide. We should have been able to call it last night when we stayed here till 11:30 at night.
You don't understand the power of the incumbency.
I see the power.
Most people who are incumbents, look at Mitch McConnell. He was in trouble all the way. Look at Lindsey Graham, in trouble all the way. Look at McSally, in trouble all the way. All these senators who were in trouble all the way, how did they come back at the last 11th hour and get enough votes to win?
That's called white privilege.
Power, white privilege.
No strategy.
That's called
The
no.
Democratic Party didn't listen. That the black community did not want Kamala Harris. The Democratic Party didn't run.
You got to grab that microphone.
I need you to get him that mic. Yeah, I need you to get him the mic real fast.
I'm not even supposed to be here.
She's trying to hide them. That's not me.
All the kids. The Democratic Party did not listen that we did not want Kamala Harris. The Democratic Party did not have any strategy other than we're not Trump. They haven't laid out any policy. They haven't said what they're going to do. They have been very vague. They have not. What they said was, hey guys, we're not Trump. Vote for us. And people don't work like that. So you had a ton of people who were on the fence and they didn't give them anything to vote for. So that's what they got.
And what you're going to get, what you're going to get in the next few days is black folks saving America one more time.
Once again, one's saving us, but we're saving everybody else. And black people.
So,
I'll buy that.
So what the National Democratic Party has to figure out, what the Colorado Democratic Party has figured out.
Exactly.
If they were able to translate whatever it is that we do to the national stage, we wouldn't have these problems. And I can tell you, you can't tell me about incumbents. The bottom line is, if you have a level of white privilege, it's just like Biden being able to lose in every single one of them caucuses and show up in South Carolina and then make it all the way to the end of the dance.
If in fact an incumbency doesn't have power,
It has power.
When's
We
the
did not
When's
disagree
the
with that.
last time an incumbent president has not come back?
Yeah, George Bush.
And Jimmy Carter.
Okay,
Those
well,
are
Where
last
you go to
two.
Jimmy Carter?
Well, you mentioned the machismo
But-
of Candy C. DeBaca. She beat an incumbent.
Exactly.
Ooh, she got Mr. Brooks
Exactly.
right on out
Anytime-
of there.
and the formula
Exactly.
is
Strategy.
Because she was strong.
Getting the people behind
She
you.
was not strong.
She got She quit making women that are bosses be these men. Like you knock
I'm
it
not
off.
saying anything about her sexuality.
I
any
see
of
you.
that.
She
I'm
was
saying
strong.
she's strong. She's a strong woman.
Or maybe
What's
she had
wrong with saying
strategy,
that?
and maybe she
You
had the
don't
people
consider
behind
yourself-
her, and maybe she talked to the people issues that
You
they
don't
wanted to hear,
consider
and maybe
yourself
she
a
knew the
strong
sound
woman?
bites that were necessary.
You don't consider yourself a strong
I'm
woman?
absolutely a
doesn't
strong
consider
woman, but I'm not a
herself
macho man.
Strong.
She goes to the. Do you go to the gym? Do you go to the gym and work
I am
out?
yes, I go to work
And
out.
don't you feel like you're stronger than a woman who doesn't go to the gym and works out?
I don't compare myself to the woman that does not work out.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying you're a man. I'm saying
Do you hear
you're
this?
strong. You're a strong woman. That's all I'm saying.
Here's the formula. Here's the formula. And Jice hit on it, and everybody's hit on it. If you want someone's vote, you give them something to vote for that relates to something that's in their interest. You don't vote for them just because you have a history of being a part of that same old. And a lot of people are tired of the same old. Candy C. DeBaca, AOC, all those crew that was reelected as freshman senators and et cetera, they had the people, the people's backing. They didn't have the money. They had the people. They were in touch with the times. And if you get disconnected, then you start getting the same old.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be macho. You could be a strategic person who has intelligence, who has the will of the people, and not have to be related to some men.
No, I'm not saying that. No, I'm not saying that.
And when you think about it, let's look at somebody like Jamie Gillis.
You're taking my comments.
Let's look at somebody like Jamie Gillis, who
my
got
comments-
Hancock.
You're taking my comments out of context. What I'm saying is, look, Cori Bush. Do you know who she is?
No.
She just lost to the gun-toting lady.
No. Cori Bush won in Missouri, a black woman.
No.
And she,
Who's the Bush here that just lost to the lady who's
Mitza something
her
Bush.
name was Bush too.
Yeah, but no, this is
Different Bush.
B-U-S-S-H. This is that she's B-U-S-C-H. No, this is a black woman from Missouri, from Ferguson, who won after she got involved with all of this after the Michael Brown killing or whatever that was. So bottom line is
Is she macho?
She had to be to win in Missouri in a white racist state. Look, she's below the cotton curtain. Look, you say Democrats didn't have an issue that people voted for. You know what they voted for? They voted because
To dump Trump.
They voted because Donald Trump did not control the COVID virus, and 230 some odd American people, 9 million cases in the state. That's why they voted for
Absolutely.
him here.
Which was not a Democratic stance. It was for what Trump did not do.
Why didn't other black people see that we are disproportionately being killed by COVID? Why wasn't COVID enough to take out Trump?
Because the cops kill us more than COVID because of white supremacy. Well, I could tell you that COVID is not the number one concern. It is a concern, but you got cops killing us, COVID killing us, us killing us. So killing us ain't the big issue to come at us and say.
Are cops killing more black people than COVID? No.
Right.
But I could just tell you, I'm telling you,
job loss.
death is not a driving factor for us because we have
We're used to dying, unfortunately.
a fatalistic whatever.
Did you really say that wasn't a driving force for
fatalistic culture? So if you're going to scare us with death, there are a lot of black folks that will tell you if you're going to kill me, you're doing me a favor.
I'm not saying
you can't
scare.
scare them with
I'm not
death.
saying scare.
Live
them
from
with
your
death. What I'm
headquarters
saying
for
is-
the culture. Trump is asking right now for a recall in Wisconsin. He is saying that this was not counted right. Let's do another count in Wisconsin. This man is going to make sure that this election goes as long as possible. We're still at 253 electoral votes for Biden, 213 for Trump. This is your headquarters for the culture.
JJ, hit some of those comments because there are a lot of comments
Ooh,
coming. And we're about to wrap things
yeah.
up. We're going to wrap things up.
Let me
But
see
I
if I
can
can find
tell
some.
you this. Black folks did their thing. We're about to do it again. Black women have done their thing. White women And I'm not talking about the ones that are anti-racist, the ones that are at the front lines that are trying to change things up. I'm talking about the majority of those individuals in them red states. It was a lot of women that have made sure this took place in the midst of women marches that took place all over the nation in 2016 and in 2020. A lot of folks changed, but a lot of white women did not.
Boom.
Hey, we're talking about black folks, and I'm saying we're sitting at the door of change. Black people in America, we're sitting at the door of change, but we're too scared to walk through it. I told you before, this is Scorpio moon that we're under. These are different times.
Black folks are scared of what?
Black folks we're sitting at the door to change. All we had to do was open the door and walk through it.
We opened the door.
We didn't get there.
We did
Black
too.
men didn't vote.
All
Black
right.
men did vote.
I don't know who voted, who didn't.
We'll
JB
see.
said we're
We'll
going to
see.
wait to see. But I just want you guys to remember once again that voting should be an extension of your activism, not the extent of your activism. And a lot of black men that are involved said we have other things to do. Like Diddy is saying, on November 10th, let's get together and reorganize because we don't have a party.
well, like, take care of our
when we
kids?
wake up, we're going to be black.
Take care of our kids
Stop
all the
it.
time.
Black
Hold
men
on.
take care of their kids. You need to
Say
change
that
that
again,
narrative.
JB.
So what is the other thing we got to do? Take care of our kids.
Stop it.
Not have women trying to find us to get their child support.
You know what? I'm not indulging in that narrative right now.
Is that one of the things that took us out of the? Is that one of the things that took our minds off the election?
Can we at least acknowledge that Trump is not the lack of black votership? Trump is a white problem. White people put Trump in office.
That's
not
true.
black people, and
That's
not
true.
black people.
And black people not voting helped put him in office.
Shay J. Shay J.
White people, Trump is a white people problem. Trump is a white supremacist problem.
He's the white
Everybody,
people's savior.
go.
He's the macho man.
Go.
Every burden, every
Right. It's not us.
It's not falling on black shoulders and saying that this is an issue because black people didn't come out. That's not accurate.
Black people, you did your job, and I believe that you did what you were supposed to do. All right,
And
my
you're
people.
about to save them again.
And once again, I hope somebody saves us. Remember, put your life jacket on first before you try to save anyone else.
How did
Thank you.
How did the Alabama football coach get elected senator in Alabama?
Man.
Tommy Tuberville. How did he get elected?
Ooh, y'all.
But before I go,
Yeah, we got to get
I
out
got
of
to
here.
tell you all of something. But before I go, I got to share something with you.
Okay,
all.
let me hear it.
First of all, more black men take care of their children
Thank
than not. So now when you're espousing stereotypes, when you're espousing stereotypes,
Check.
which lead to the narrative of why it is fair game to attack black bodies because of stereotypes, black men take care of their children.
Absolutely.
Welfare recipients are more in corporate America than the people who are getting welfare checks from the government. No, I'm talking about all of these narratives that talk and frame us as deficit. More black folks showed up to vote than perhaps any other period in history.
Yeah.
In Colorado, they said that there were more people who voted than all of the elections in U.S. history.
Absolutely.
Black folks played a role in that.
Absolutely. So
And
I would have echoed Jice when she said, black people, this is not on your shoulders. We will not take this win, lose, draw. This is not on your shoulders. But what is on your shoulders is how we activate after this election.
And I think I called that the other day when I said there was 81% of the vote came in, and we were going to hit 85%, and we hit 84%. Look, this election brought people out in Colorado, but we are a unique state. We vote all by mail. If every state voted by mail, can you imagine what the numbers would have been nationwide?
Yeah, that would be called eliminating voter suppression.
Thank you.
And
Right,
we
so
don't
when
want
pipes
to do
bust,
that.
We don't want to do that.
and the electricity goes out.
Jay, before we go, where we at? Have we picked up any other
We have
on our
not
road to
picked
270?
up, my friends. You know you'll be getting coverage all day right here at the Brother Jeff Network.
We'll know Friday.
I'm with you. We might know on Friday. Right now, we have not picked up. We're at 253 for Biden and 214 for Trump. Those are the latest numbers.
Hey, look,
We
Nevada
have not
doesn't
picked
even
up
open
at
ballots
this
till
point.
tomorrow. They don't even open their ballots until tomorrow. Nevada.
Nevada doesn't. You're right.
I still don't even know where to get the right numbers from
So,
because
they're
everywhere I
everywhere.
look, some like
They're
Fox is
everywhere.
probably saying something different than
They're probably
CNN.
saying it's a
and I'm-
landslide.
I don't
Again,
know.
remember, we're waiting on Pennsylvania, Georgia, Michigan, North Carolina, Arizona, Wisconsin, Nevada, and Alaska.
7 states.
7 states.
They gave Alaska to Trump. I gave
Okay.
Alaska to Trump.
They did give
Well,
it. I don't know
with
what's
that
wrong with
being
that.
said,
Well, thank
you
you
for
that.
hanging out.
Thank
JJ,
you. Absolutely.
Jice,
Remember, it's your
Gerald.
headquarters for the culture election. Make sure you stay tuned in all day. You never know when we'll be coming back with you with some new updates for the culture.
Sitting in the doorway,
According to
scared
Fox,
to open
the
it.
great Leanne Wheeler said, according to Fox, it's 264 to 214.
Yep.
Okay, see?
If Fox says it's 264 to 214,
That's right.
it's probably 264
That's
to 214.
why he doesn't want any more votes counted.
All right.
If Biden wins Arizona and Nevada, he wins the election.
And Nevada's
There we
not
go.
coming in until Friday.
Friday.
That's the troublesome part. And Trump is trying to cut off any more counting. That's
Right.
why he's sending his team of lawyers to all 7 of these swing states, and he wants to cut that off so badly. But I don't
And he
think
just filed a lawsuit
I
against
don't think
Wisconsin
the
in the
courts
midst
are going
of
to
it
do it.
immediately.
But he thinks if he gets it to the Supreme Court, where he has a third of those justices, he thinks he's going to win it there.
Well, if it gets to the Supreme Court, it's a wrap.
Boom. Community.
Jamon again says he loves you, JB.
He loves you, JB. You got a true fan of Jamon.
Hey, that's
I
all
guess
I
we are
need.
friends, Jamon.
I got 11 votes when I ran. I just
Jamon
need.
was-
I just
Jamon
need.
was one of
I
them.
Jamon
just
was
need
one of them.
5. I just
right.
need 5.
All right,
We appreciate
you all,
you, Free Things Zone.
all of you. We're going to keep our eyes on this.
Yes.
Again, I gave you some good news at the beginning, and your new president will be none other than Joe Biden, along with Kamala Harris. Shout out to the Dems, and we're going to do the thing. Just hold on tight.
Hold on tight, my
Everything's
people.
gonna be all right.
Everything's going to be all right because when you wake up, you're still going to be black, and we're going to make sure we activate whatever we need to do. My people.
And urban does mean black.
It does, by the way.
So when you're listening to those commentators saying the urban vote is still
urban,
being,
they don't wanna say black.
What they're saying is the Negro.
That's you.
The black, the color, the African
Free
American.
Things Zone, before we get out of here, make sure you go to brotherjeff.com right now. Any donation keeps us up and running and keeps us your official headquarters for the cultural election days, because we don't know how long this is going to go, but we'll be right here with you throughout the whole process.
Count on the blacks to save the day.
Per usual.
will
There we
be
go.
there.
No one saves us, but we save everyone else. Let's start saving one another. Let's
If
look
you
at that.
go down
swinging.
Just
You might score a knockout. Rumble
young
on,
man, woman,
community.
community.
Rumble.
Macho or not. Rumble.
Rumble. Stay tuned.